Now they can hear us, folks.
They can hear us right now?
They can hear. They can literally hear us right now.
I didn't know. I'm not ready for that.
I'm sorry if that's a surprise to you. That's not supposed to be a surprise to you.
Okay.
God, that Miranda cross.
Let me know when I can. I need monitoring so I know where we are.
We are.
I need monitoring.
We are
live monitoring, folks.
Monday.
Goodness, 9:30.
Monday.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
How are you feeling? I'm feeling okay.
I'm actually feeling not great.
I'm feeling pretty weird.
Yeah.
I have a weird undertone of anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I managed to, I think, pretty much pull mine out. Did you sense any anxiety when you came in?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I've patted it down.
Yeah?
This morning was kind of
good job.
But thank you.
Good job. Did you sense mine?
I sensed yours, yeah. But I assumed it was mostly just because you were running late.
I was running late. Yeah. I was running late. I was late. I was really late today.
You were pretty late today.
This is the latest I've been really in a while.
And can I get some props for just being like, let's plug it in and go?
Yeah, no, you were great.
I did a pretty good.
I really appreciate that.
Most of that was because you were late, so I had some time to get ready.
Right. Yeah. Folks, this is the Brew with Brotherwife. This is Tyler. I'm Jeff. We are a band that is also a game show.
Happens to be a podcast as well, and that is the portion of our flavor, ambiance, nature, reality that you are attending in this very moment. This is our podcast, The Brew. I'm gonna spice. My next line is spices.
Listen,
I'm gonna spice it.
We gotta pick something and we gotta go with it. Because I want something composite.
I would like to sit
I want a morsel. If you want to implement, we can do that during the implementation phase, but this is actual live broadcast.
Let's do implementation.
Not implementation.
This sure seems like he's implementing on the live broadcast right now.
Folks, we're trying to bring a little bit of our life into your world.
Our juice into your mouth. Our implementation into our podcast.
The thing is, it's about continuity. It's about staying power. It's about getting real estate in the minds of these good folks.
Absolutely.
If there's not, listen, I will totally be honest. I have
no penis or testicles.
Folks, and I'm not afraid to admit that anymore.
Afraid to admit
and I'm not afraid to admit that to the good folks at home anymore.
Horstit.mpeg.
Horstit, God, yeah. Pour a little out for our boy. We have a lot of deaths in the news really quick, but
hell yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say at one point, I at many points really, those little taglines that people say, oh, they're a band, they're a podcast, they're also a game show. These little things, this is how people are gonna be able to tell other people about us.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what are you watching, brother? Oh, they're like a band that's also a podcast. There has to be a little.
Absolutely.
Because we don't want them to carry a huge sack.
So
we want them to zip us off like a frisbee.
Quit trying to convince us to change or do implementation on live broadcasts. It's not going to happen. We're not going to do it. We've hit a nice flow point here, okay?
So
get over it.
Listen.
It's over.
Folks, I'm sorry that he's taking it out on you. I'm sorry that he's doing that to you. You guys of all people here in the Brew Stew with us virtually 9:30 in the morning.
God, it's a Monday.
It's a Monday.
Nice?
It's Labor Day though. You guys celebrating Labor Day?
Oh yeah, anybody celebrating Labor Day?
What is Labor Day even about? Let's look it up.
Oh, I think it's about unions. I think Labor Day is about like unions. Successful unionization.
Oh, here we go. Cold conjecture.
Okay, yeah, I think Labor Day is about the successful formation of some unions, and like just people being like, "Hey, we don't have to work 90 hours a week anymore."
Okay.
That's what I think.
Sure. So Labor Day is the absence of Labor Day.
Absolutely.
It's like labor has been reconfigured.
Yeah, exactly. Yay for Labor Day.
Okay, I'm gonna say, and that sounds like a pretty good guess. So I'll kind of go left field here. I'm gonna say it just has something to do with something religious, actually.
Okay, you're gonna go.
I'm gonna say. I mean, I don't really think that's what it is because separation of church and state and all that. But I'm just gonna say it might have. There's like Ash Wednesday.
Sure.
There's Fat Tuesday.
Yeah.
Labor Day.
I could see that.
I know that's not it.
Yeah,
but I'm just gonna take a.
And then I'm gonna take one that I don't get any points for if I'm right. I think I am right with my first one, but I'm gonna go something military on my secondary guess that has no bearing on your opinion of me or the audience's opinion.
That's where I kind of wanted to go. It's so early because I know it's not religious, but military. I was like, this is about something like
it's like after World War II when everybody was pitching in and recycling their cans.
War gardens and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Really quick, M&Ms used to only be reserved for the soldiers. You could not have M&Ms. M&Ms used to be like a pretty big fucking deal back in the day.
I love that they're like, sorry about your best bud Jimmy that got domed on on Tuesday, but
we just introduced the green ones.
Here's a pack of Marbs and some green M&Ms.
Labor Day is a federal holiday in the United States celebrated on the first Monday in September to honor and recognize the American labor movement and the works and contributions of laborers to the development and achievements of the United States.
So it's kind of the same thing as the M&Ms. They're like,
you guys
are just great.
You guys get a
day
Monday
off. Take a day off.
Jesus Christ. Betty Metzger of Boonville with the United Mine Workers of America Local 1907.
Oh God, that's a really tough one to like throw them like
These guys are on a Labor Day parade. They're doing some fucking.
That's not even. They've known how to build cyborgs for the last 100 years.
God damn.
All of those old workers are just cyborgs because all the miners are actually dead.
I am so afraid of getting old, and it's not even about like looking different necessarily. It's just about like being able to like control my bowels and like kick the way I want and like run and like.
I love kick the way you want.
Yeah, dude.
Like kicking is very important to your lifestyle.
The other day I was like, so I do like side jobs for like this real estate developers sometimes, and I like had to go out to this fucking area, and I had to spread a bunch of hay, like a shit ton of hay, and I thought spreading hay would be kind of easy. Turns out it's actually more nuanced.
Did you have a rake?
Okay, so I had a rake, but my rake was too rigid.
I had a metal rake?
I had a fucking metal rake. I need to have like a plastic flimsy straw rake.
You needed a
my metal rake, it would be like, oh, you want to rake shit? Okay,
this isn't all of it.
This is you want to rake everything.
Yeah,
this is an entirely bare spot. Oh,
this
wonderful.
is for gathering hay. And you're like, no, I'm dispersing hay.
So I'd like try and I'm like trying to skim with the fucking rake, and that's like not working. So then I take the shit and I like hold it in my hand, and I'm like kind of like fucking. I don't know, shaking the dickens out of it, trying to like sprinkle it.
I'm imagining you finally finish on just doing the worm across the whole yard to spread the hay out. That's the most effective way you found out.
Well, so that gets me to my point. I found out that actually kicking the hay was a pretty effective strategy.
And you were having kind of a rough day, so it was like nice that you got
to
kick
so
much.
I kicked the shit out of that hay because it actually dispersed pretty well, but then the next day I was like, why does my knee hurt so bad? I had never got kicker's knee like that. I had never got pain from kicking. Fair,
that may be the only time that you've sustained kicked for more than like 1 minute. Before.
I know, but it scared me. I want to be able to do as much kicks as I want.
That's a valid concern. That's a valid concern. I'm not sure how frequently that's going to pop up.
But it's, it stays in my mind.
I kicked the tire in Rage the other day for the first time since
Did
Gym Fights. Yeah.
When?
For the first time
what
since
happened?
Gym Fights. Business.
Oh, I told you guys. This guy, what is it? This guy loves you.
I love you.
This guy, don't do those bad.
Bad.
If anybody from his company, don't do those really bad things you were doing.
Bad things you were doing. But you know,
just a select couple of
few.
The majority are very, very right as rain. They are pink as a pistol.
I actually did a ketamine shower. This last week.
Okay, how did that go?
It went really well. Okay. I quit drinking every day the next day. I quit drinking it. So I drank on our Friday broadcast, but I didn't drink Thursday and I didn't drink Saturday or Sunday. So I 3 out of the last 4 days I haven't drank. Okay. I'm pretty committed to that. If I need to do a little more,
you literally just did a little airport bottle of tequila before the date.
I didn't mention Monday.
Right. Yeah. You specifically did not mention Monday.
I didn't. Yeah. So, ketamine therapy. I mean, ketamine shower is kind of on the edge of ketamine therapy. It's kind of experimental. I'm on the cutting edge of ketamine therapy. Yeah. I just do a shitload of ketamine.
Right. And take a shower.
It's
ketamine therapy.
No, it was really cool though.
I got things are therapeutic, if you make them.
Oh my god, yeah. I went in with a thing. The first thing I take the shower, and I walk out, and I'm feeling really good. And the first thing Al turns to me and she says, "Were you talking to yourself in the shower?"
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. I don't have a therapist in there with me. I've kind of got to play both seats, I was talking to myself. I was working through some shit. I was just working through some empathy stuff with myself and just saying, like, hey, man, like, you're trying to do a lot. Like, you're going to drop balls.
So then when you came out and she was just, like, inquiring about what was happening, you were like, Listen, I'm fucking good.
I'm fucking good.
I was doing aces working there,
fucking good.
and you're trying to come in and tell me that I don't have aces right now?
You
look like a joker.
Ace. Oh, you live with a joker. I love that. I
look like a joker, but thank you.
Oh, you look like a
I'll take
joker,
it.
and you live with a joker.
Yeah.
We're both jokers.
We're both jokers.
These are all my aces, folks. No aces left. I just transferred them to the Nether Realm. That's where I store all my aces.
The Nether Realm.
I stopped.
I transferred into the Nether
I
Realm.
transferred to the Nether Realm.
God damn.
So on the brew, what do we do?
Well, one of the things that we do here on the Brew is we read violent news stories. I didn't know if you were going to explore the shower.
I mean,
I wanted more room for that,
the,
but I didn't know.
Well, I'll say there's a couple things.
Can we
your own
rapid
naked
fire?
body.
Okay.
We can rapid fire. Your naked body on ketamine, very strange.
That makes sense.
Your naked body.
What was the weirdest thing? Did you like look at your dick?
Yeah, penis, rubbery penis.
Yeah.
Because ketamine makes
on drugs, rubbery penis is weird.
It is.
It is weird.
It is, but like, it wasn't like gross weird. It was just kind of like. What?
You're like, whoa, this is like a little thing that's like part of me, and
what the heck?
Right? Yeah.
There's no just in case anybody's getting weird about it, there's nothing there's no sexuality in ketamine.
You're like a toddler
yeah.
discovering yourself once again.
Yeah. And then you do that with like only blue light. Like I turn this really deep blue light on.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm just imagining that you're like, God, my penis is so little. It's just so tiny. And you wake up out of your ketamine trance and you're just fondling your son's dick.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. How many minutes in are we? I'm
sorry.
How many minutes in are we? We're 11 minutes in.
All right,
folks.
that's decent.
We can say pretty weird shit at this point.
Go ahead.
So doing it with the blue light is even a little bit weirder, but it's fun. It's very interesting. And then doing it with extremely loud dubstep, and I have a Def Underground set that I listen to, my Ivy Lab Def Underground set.
Yeah, he loves the Ivy Lab Def Underground set.
Go ahead and check it out. And on that
what
set,
is it?
at
break a motherfucking neck.
We be killing on the set. But it's a great overall experience. I've got a possum in my life that also just used it therapeutically for the first time and to great results. I think it's definitely, if any of you out there are suffering from anxiety or depression or struggling with substance abuse disorder, ketamine is literally a very viable option. I would suggest that you go the legitimate route and find like either an online doctor or a real local doctor that can help you do it just for safety, for dosage. But I think it's a really, really valuable tool, and I think everyone should experiment at least once with it because it's extremely helpful. I would be in an insane asylum right now if it was not for ketamine, I think.
He's just still going to go to the insane asylum just a tiny bit later. Because of the ketamine.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I've done the ketamine twice. Both times it wasn't very therapeutic, but it was pretty...
We're going to try it again with you, but different. We're going to try it in a therapeutic setting.
It was really... I mean, I did the ketamine with a couple other things, and it was like... I felt like everything was a play. And I felt like everything was like very... I think ketamine just turns you into an insane narcissist, because I was like, it's all made for me. This entire setting... Well, me. It's all representation.
Can we dive a little deep on that for a second? That's something that you've struggled with in your life, like, and so you're recreating this deep, like this section of your reality, the shape of your reality in this microcosm, but so apparent, so tactile, you can feel it, you can see it, you can inspect it in such a way that you can't really when you're just like living in your body, in your brain 24 hours a day and like, oh yeah, that thing is a kind of a thing.
But it's not like, it wasn't making me be like, oh wow, I really internalize and bring everything back to myself a lot. It was more like, I wasn't above it, I was in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's where...
It didn't feel as
super. It didn't feel as therapeutic.
It almost like concreted that.
Well, I didn't worry about that. It wasn't like... I'm not saying that per se, like, in relation to anything else. I'm just saying, like, that it was... It didn't seem spiritual. Like, I've done drugs and I've had a spiritual time, but it didn't... I think it was because it was in a party environment. It was mixed with things, but it made me feel like I was going crazy. It made me feel like I was going crazy, actually. Not in a good way. But I think it probably helps to not...
Be at a party and mix it with three other things.
Yeah, exactly.
I set up the bedroom to be like a little
ketamine area.
Yeah.
Folks, have you done ketamine? Are you a big into ket? Are you ket supporters? Comment below because we're talking ket this morning on the Brew with Brotherwife.
I literally named my cat Cat.
He did. This man he's a drug addict, folks.
It's the truth.
One of the things we do here on the Brew, as Tyler says, we read violent news. One of the safest things to read in this climate. Violent news. You think race issues, gender issues, sex issues,
Oh,
money inequality.
fuck.
Unfortunately, this that I'm about to show you is actually one of the more safe stories to read that I can't. I won't get canceled for. So
I mean, did you read the whole thing?
I did.
Okay.
But I think this was just. This is you know.
Goon Squad.
This is
Let's
alright.
give him the time.
6 officers
Jesus
known
Christ.
Okay, I didn't. Here we go. I didn't realize they were officers. I thought they were just psychopaths.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going for it, folks.
Fuck! Alright. 6 officers known as the Goon Squad plead guilty to torturing 2 black men, using a sex toy on them, and shooting one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, Mississippi today.
There goes all of our neutrality. We've just
6
popped off on like 3 different topics: rape,
6
culture, race, and police officers.
It's not easy, folks. 6 law enforcement officers who called themselves the Goon Squad pleaded guilty Thursday to federal charges. They tortured 2 black men, hurled racial slurs, and used a sex toy on them before shooting one of them in the mouth.
Every N-word ever used weighs 1 gram.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they're like
2 metric tons of
yeah. They got together in the male restroom at the police station, and they had to say the N-word like 650,000 times to get a handful to hurl it.
The charges against 5 Rankin County Sheriff's Department deputies and a Richland police officer followed a months-long Justice Department investigation, which found credible evidence of the attack on Michael Jenkins, 32, and Eddie Terrell Parker, 35. On January 24th, during an early morning raid, the officers broke down the door of Parker's home in Braxton, Mississippi, without
Shout out
a warrant.
to Braxton, really good hat brand.
They restrained the 2 men before beating, tasing, and threatening them with rape. The officers shot multiple rounds into the air, threatening to kill the men before a deputy placed his gun in Jenkins' mouth and fired. The bullet lacerated Jenkins' tongue, shattered his jaw, shredded his neck, nearly killing him and causing permanent injuries. To them, he wasn't even human.
What the fuck?
Okay, that's insane that he survived after being shot in the literal fucking mouth.
I mean, they literally did this and then shot. Like, that shot through and then out here. Like,
lacerated his tongue.
They must have, like, missed the
shattered
trachea.
his jaw. Shredded his neck. I love this guy used to want to be a writer. When he
did a couple short novellas.
Yeah, exactly.
He did a couple short action novellas.
The men's attorney, Trent Walker, said his clients feel they're getting justice. They feel vindicated.
Okay, this is maybe one of the worst ones that, like, all the ones that I hear about, like, they're gross, they're icky, like,
right.
You know, can't breathe, you know, like,
right.
all this shit that's going on, like, it's icky, but this is, like,
rough.
fucking evil.
It's a little rough. I don't understand why they went in there. Was there like a probable cause situation?
They had no warrant.
Right.
They had no warrant, threatened to rape them, and then shot someone in the mouth.
God damn.
What?
I mean, so one of the things we do here on the Brew is we take the devil's advocate of the devil themselves.
We do. We take the devil's advocate of the devil themselves.
So, I mean, what could have compelled these young police officers?
Six guys. I mean, I think what is it called? Not tribe. Mob mentality potentially.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. For these
I don't know if you're about to I don't even know if that's we're already on the cooker. I think we just condemn them savagely.
I'm gonna say, oh Jesus, does
it get worse?
Well, I was gonna say, like, with a name like the Goon Squad.
Yeah.
With a name like the Goon Squad, they must have been scrambled in the mentals, right? So I'm thinking that potentially because this is one of the more sinister acts, right? It's a little insidious in nature. I'm thinking potentially we have a situation where poltergeists have made it into our police department, folks, and they are actually converting our good officers to folks that would do absolutely heinous things such as this. So this is
a poltergeist problem.
This is not a police problem. This is a poltergeist problem, and I want you guys to know that. And
I do not say all poltergeists are bad.
All poltergeists are bad, and I do not condone, exemplify. I do not bring light to this in a good way. I'm just saying that
maybe it was poltergeist.
At Thursday's hearing, handcuffed officers stood with their lawyers in a semicircle.
Did they get all 6 of them? I hope they must have gotten all 6 of them.
Before U.S. District Judge Tom S. Lee, who read from a 13-count criminal information. Oh, they stood before him, I see. 5 deputies, I don't know where the 6th one is, pleaded guilty to federal charges. Brent Morris, McAlpin, 52.
So I'm just imagining the 6th one went to take a piss and just came back and was like, what the fuck?
I thought we were going to rob these guys.
What the fuck, guys?
Oh my god.
And they're like, Goon Squad, and he's like, did you guys just make
They're
that
like,
name up? I don't know. What the fuck is the Goon Squad? This is my 3rd time working with you, Timothy.
Are you... Wait. I thought we were going to get glazed donuts.
I thought we were going to get... I thought this was like a home bakery.
I thought that these young men were providing baked goods.
Baked goods. Valuable local services.
Oh, jeez. So we've got Brent Morris McAlpin, 52, who served as a chief investigator. We've got Jeffrey Arwood Middleton, 45, who worked as a lieutenant. We've got Christian Lee Dedmon, 28, who worked as a narcotics investigator. And we've got Hunter Thomas Elward, 31.
Whoa. Wait, isn't Hunter Thomas the first 2 of the guy in...
Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh.
And Daniel Reddy Updike, 27, who worked as patrol deputies. Joshua Allen Hartfield, 31, who worked as a narcotics investigator with the Richland Police Department, also pled guilty.
When this shit happens, you just have to go back and look at all the work these guys did and be like, oh, Jesus.
I bet that there's probably...
some bad stuff is
No,
happened.
they just got a little wild one time.
They just got a little wild the one time.
No, you guys, you gotta believe me, the Goon Squad was just formed. We only did one gooning. And everything else.
It was the narcotics investigator found some PCP. We thought, how can we put someone in jail if we don't even know what this is like?
Right. Well,
this is like, judge not not lest you be judged.
Well, and you got to think like in this social climate where nobody wants to work, you've got to really, really be on top of your brand as a police officer. We have learned that. So a name like the Goon Squad, I mean, they're trying to get that younger zillennial. Sort of weird demo. They're trying to get them to think of the police officers as
everything's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
This is not how you win a popularity contest.
This isn't.
You don't rape people and shoot them in the mouth. But sometimes how to win popularity contests can get a little confusing.
According to the criminal information filed Thursday, the white deputies handcuffed Jenkins and Parker before beating them, calling them the N, monkey, and boy, telling them to stay out of Rankin County and go back to Jackson or to their side of Pearl River. Very, very specific.
Yeah.
While deputies...
This is definitely some extremely, like segregation, racially charged...
Well, and Mississippi is where that huge fucking brawl was.
And the funny...
I think things in Mississippi are very bad.
Heating up.
They're very bad.
The funniest thing about this is that, like, the N-word, monkey, and boy, those are all awful, but those are, like, things that, like, somebody could parrot. Somebody could not be engaged in but then you get down into go back to Jackson or their side of Pearl River, and it's like, this is local information.
Right.
This is very... It's just funny to me that for some reason the second part sticks out a little bit more than the first.
Because the other is just sort of like a perfunctory blanket, racist
it's
thing.
Nasty, we hate it, but
But we're literally telling you your zone, which you are allowed to inhabitate.
Active segregation. Happening in 2023.
Right. Get to your side of Pearl River. While deputies taunted the two men, Dedman repeatedly drive-stunned Jenkins with his taser.
Gotta figure out what drive stunned is.
I don't know what that means. When deputies discovered a dildo in the home, Opdyke forced it into the mouth of Parker and attempted to force it into the mouth of Jenkins. According to the information, Dedman had then threatened to anally rape the two men, but when he moved towards Jenkins' backside, the deputy stopped when he noticed that Jenkins had defecated on himself, according to the information. While Elward held the two men down, Dedman poured milk, alcohol, and chocolate syrup on their faces and into their mouths. At a certain point, what is allowed to be news and what isn't allowed to be news?
I mean, I think on this one, as a news writer, you literally just do
everything. Dedman poured cooking grease on Parker's head. Elward threw eggs at the men. Officers then ordered the two men to strip naked and shower off to wash away evidence of abuse, according to the information. Hartfield guarded the door to make sure that they didn't escape. Updike struck Parker with a wooden kitchen implement. Middleton assaulted Parker with a metal sword. And Dedman and McAlpine smacked Parker with pieces of wood.
This could literally be a fucking a Dr. Seuss book if they phrased it right. like the insanity that's going into this. Like, this is like one of the longer Dr. Seuss books.
Right.
Addressing like the actual
beating of two men through every single carousel of possible weapons.
I mean, either racism is so that's so like. Or like these guys, were these guys on drugs or something? Like, did they drug test the officers? Like, I don't. This is so topsy fucking turvy.
Poltergeist. McAlpin and Middleton stole rubber bar mats, and McAlpin was about to steal a Class A military uniform when he heard 2 gunshots, according to the document. The first gunshot was discharged by Deadman, who fired into the yard. After removing a bullet from the chamber of his gun, Elward stuck a gun into Jenkins' mouth and pulled the trigger. The gun clicked. Then he racked the slide, only this time the gun fired a bullet, which lacerated his tongue, broke his jaw, exited through his neck. The officers pleaded guilty to depriving the 2 men of their rights by neglecting Jenkins' need for medical care.
Wait, they didn't take him to the...
They attempted to cover up their misconduct rather than provide Jenkins with
I mean, I guess, why would I be surprised? Why would I be surprised about
They were like, you know what,
do?
boys, we've gooned too far this time.
We've gooned too far this time.
The officers also pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice. They attempted to cover up the shooting by planting a gun in the home and accused Jenkins of attempting to shoot at the officer, Elward, according to the court records. Holy fuck. They also planted methamphetamine on Jenkins and charged him with drug possession, disorderly conduct, and assaulting an officer. Parker was falsely charged with possession of drug paraphernalia and disorderly conduct. The charges against the two have been dismissed. The officers then stole the hard drive from a surveillance camera system in Parker's home and threw it into the river.
Okay, this is... I think one of the craziest fucking cop stories I've ever read.
And it doesn't stop. We've got a lot more here, folks.
I think we have to finish this one. I think this is worth finishing.
So they planned all the drugs. Fuck? Deadman and Elward pleaded guilty to discharging a gun in the commission of a violent crime that carries a 10-year minimum and up to life sentence.
Wait! Guilty to discharging a gun in the commission of a violent crime?
I think
No. They need to get...
Well, I'm hoping that's just one of the charges. Because you know how, like, people get, like, okay, you have this charge, you're guilty. This charge, you're guilty. This charge, you're guilty. This charge, you're not guilty. This charge, you're guilty. You know, I'm hoping that this is just one of them. Based on the facts in their guilty pleas, all former deputies lied to me the night of the incident, Sheriff Brian Bailey said in a statement. This incident... Brian Bailey ducked out early.
He was the sixth
guy. He was the sixth guy. This incident and the crimes of these individuals has been devastating, not only to the victims, but also to the sheriff's office. And the hundreds of men and women that work here. I think it was a little bit more devastating to the victims that got cooking oil.
Probably.
Poured into their fucking
got shot
eyes.
in the fucking mouth and dildoed.
They became the criminals they swore to protect us from. I think they were them for a little bit longer than just this afternoon.
Yeah.
Alleged in their lawsuit that their torture was racially motivated because throughout the incidents, the deputies kept using racial slurs and accused the men of sleeping with white women. Jesus fucking Christ.
Guys, if that's happening with... let's take the odds. You've got 6 deputies doing this in a department of how many people? Yeah. You've got to think that department is fucked. You've got to think that is just like a cesspit of racism. For that to be propagated to the degree that they're doing something like that, I literally can't. Like, it's actually rough. Is shaking me up. It's like rough. Shaking me up that's
there's that
real life.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm just like literally hardened because to me, I'm like, it sucks. It's horrible. It's very bad. But I'm like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally just like, it is a horrific. Like, this is like, I wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're literally just jungle animals. People are getting... Like, there's so much shit that fucking happens. Atrocities. Like, people, like, eating other people's, like, fucking insides in basements in Kansas and shit. Like, nothing really surprises me at this point.
If it was 1 cop or it was 2 cops, I would not feel the same way.
But just 6 cops?
But it was 6 fucking cops at once. It was 6 fucking cops. Yeah. It's like...
Well, and, I mean, yeah. Like
6 people made a decision that was okay.
Yeah.
That's where it's like...
I guess the cop thing to me means nothing because I don't trust cops. So I don't trust cops to be like
sure, I don't trust cops either. Yeah. But it's just 6 people that like were co-worker. Like, it's just like if you put 100 people in a business.
Yeah.
And then you randomly select 6 out of them. I would think that the odds you could get 6 of them to literally rape and shoot someone in the mouth is like 0.
Yeah.
But obviously, it is non-zero. Obviously, there is a measurable percentage chance that if you randomly select 6 people...
They will form a goon squad.
They will form a fucking goon squad 100% of the time.
Oh my god.
I think maybe we need to exterminate the human species.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, how far are we in? Because we'll see. How far are we in? 30 minutes. So, one thing about gooning...
Really quick. Cheese... Severy Cheese says, who came up with names for things? Like, who stood in front of a door and said, this is a door. I just, in the context of this conversation, I really appreciate that. But let's take a step back and go, who stood in front of 6 men mouth raping someone and said, let's call this mouth rape.
Oh
Thank you for your addition, Cheese Severy Cheese.
Yeah.
God, wow,
I don't know.
This is a dark one.
It's pretty dark, but I literally...
nothing can surprise you.
I literally feel nothing. Folks, let me make this clear. I'm not condoning this. I feel bad for these folks. That's a hellscape to.
You shouldn't say. You shouldn't before you. You just shouldn't say. I'm not condoning it. You should just stop.
But if I'm saying I feel nothing.
You
need to have a little bit of like something.
Sure.
It's just I'm hardened. I wish.
It's just hard.
I hope that I'm not even hardened. I'm just hard. I hope that one day I feel. I wish
that he would have been one of the good
folks. We need to have factions in different states, not just Mississippi. I'm kidding. Okay. Good God. All right.
Maybe the game is you're always trying to get me canceled, and I'm always trying to get you canceled, but we don't want the show to get canceled.
Okay. Sure. Right.
I don't know how that works because I think the show just gets canceled.
The show will probably get canceled.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There we go.
The thing is, it won't get canceled if it's funny.
That's really the
so
thing.
It really
hopefully that was funny.
It really depends on if people thought the poltergeist bit was funny. I think it was mid.
I think it was mid.
I don't think it was that good.
I think
it was kind of the best I could do in the moment without really getting into a line of stark racism or not racism.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Poltergeist. I think you should have waited for us to build to a little more of a crescendo before doing the poltergeist bit. I think you came on too early.
I think I probably did. Yeah. I think I probably did.
But I don't like it. He's fine with it. I don't like it. I think it's disgusting.
Here's what I say. I appreciate community. And... Jesus Christ. Okay. Pilot dies in gender reveal stunt.
He was dead. Or it's a dead person.
It's a stillborn.
That's...
The pilot flying a plane in a gender reveal stunt has died after the aircraft crashed in front of a sign reading, "Oh baby." God, you hate to see it. Is there actual video here? Is this real? Wow. Okay, let's get on lock here, folks. Are these screams of... I can't see it, TT, so you have to kind of...
One more time.
Fuck. All right, folks. We're trying to give you the visuals here.
Quick.
Is that scary or cool?
Fuck.
Scary or cool?
Oh.
Pretty fucked?
The wing. Oh my God. Both of the wings snapped off upwards and the plane just starts spinning. Oh boy.
Okay, wait, go back though.
So
okay. This is the horrifying moment. A gender reveal party in Mexico ends in tragedy when a stunt plane crashes, killing the pilot. One thing about y'all Latin folks,
they love gender reveals.
Y'all love a good gender reveal. For the last 3 years, I was in charge of pretty high-profile events for people that had a lot of disposable income, and they go so motherfucking hard on a gender reveal. I don't have a problem with the gender reveal. I just think it's interesting. I don't know. Just PSA: if you guys didn't know, Latin folk of the sub, the sub equator, and a little bit of there next to.
Just remember the first bit while he does this.
They-
Just remember the first story while he does this.
They love.
We're gonna make it through this.
They
together.
love a good gender reveal.
So I don't
damn.
get. I just think we make parties out of so many things, and I guess here's the thing: I don't really like parties that much.
Yes, you do. You like parties where you can do drugs.
I like parties where I can do drugs.
You can do drugs in a baby reveal.
Maybe I do like
It,
it.
yeah, it makes it like way more wild when they reveal who it is. What it is,
Okay.
you know?
Okay. That's what I've been missing. I need to start doing drugs at Family Guy.
We need to do drugs or we need to take bets. We need to kind of hype up. Folks, we have done weddings. We will do gender reveal.
We'll do gender reveals. We'll do weddings.
One of the
we'll
things
do funerals.
We will do funerals. We'll do
memorials.
bar mitzvahs.
We'll do bar mitzvahs.
We'll do
Is
ribbon.
It bat mitzvah?
It's bat mitzvahs. We'll do ribbon cutting ceremonies. We will do a lot. We can be hired. We will provide services rendered. Let us know if you want us to do something because this is a two-way street. We will do it.
We'll do it for you.
We ate Cheez-Its in a blender with almond milk and mayo live on the brew
We had somebody squirt slightly watered down mayonnaise into our mouth until we could fill a cup with it.
We've done bad things with shock collars to ourselves and others.
We've shocked ourselves. I've eaten an entire raw egg posing as Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
He also ate a spider. I had leeches.
An entire dead spider.
Live leeches on my body. I was bleeding.
There's a little gnat on my finger. You see that? Sorry. I thought it was dead
You
skin.
truly are a disgusting man. This is the horrifying moment. Footage shows an expecting couple smiling and holding hands in front of a sign that says, "Oh, baby." The video filmed by a party guest begins as a light aircraft drafted in to perform the incredible reveal comes into view.
How much does that cost? How much do you think it costs to hire a plane? Couple grand.
Honestly, I was thinking with this fucking balloon arch here and these signs, this is not cheap.
Yeah.
This is not fucking cheap.
The plane's got to. I mean, the absolute minimum I could see it costing is $1,000, but I think that's too cheap. I think it's like $2 to $5 grand somewhere in there.
Well, the thing is, everything's cheaper in Mexico, so you probably did it for like 2 taluetas, which is nice. You know, you can kind of barter.
What's a talueta?
It's like a weird Mexican street food thing.
Oh. Okay, I see.
Upwards. Piper PA 25235, 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 Piper PA 25235.
I think
but
we
I fucked
broke
one
it.
up. Pawnee aircraft upwards on the left wing suddenly gives way, sending the aircraft into a fatal tailspin. Yet attendees of the event seemed oblivious to the horrors and happened above their heads and continued to celebrate the gender reveal, the Sun reports. Later, photos too graphic to publish revealed the 32-year-old pilot, named locally as Luis Angel N. He's an angel now, lying in the wreckage of the plane before he was rushed to the hospital where he died. So he
lived in the crash. Wow. How do you live in a crash in that?
God damn.
You're
literally in a plane tomb.
All, like, it's basically like a blender that only runs for like 1 second, but it's still a blender. The tragedy has gone viral online in videos, and viewers have had mixed reactions to the seemingly careless response from the party goers. They didn't know that it fucking happened. I mean, yeah, they weren't like celebrating it. They weren't like. They didn't notice. They weren't like, fuck it, I'm gonna drink a mezcal. Like they weren't. And they might have been like, damn, that's a sick stunt. Holy shit. This guy, how much did you pay for him? Yeah. 2 taluetas? No, it's really. So I experienced like the tiniest version of this one time. A guy was on a 10-foot fucking unicycle. He was a magician. A guy was on a 10-foot unicycle and he was juggling and taking bites of the apples while he was juggling like 6 apples at the same time. And he made a mistake here. I guess you just kind of assume the odds are ever in your favor, but he was taking bites and spitting out the chunks of apple. He wasn't eating them all the way. No, I know where this goes. He slipped on one of the fucking apple chunks, and he ate shit. Where was this? But he managed to eat shit in such a way, like he smashed his face into the ground, but he like bounced back onto his feet and was still like performer. He still juggled, but like after the show, I was like, whoa, that was a weird I was like probably 12 and I was like, damn, that was a crazy trick. And then after the show, he was like talking to my uncle or something and he was like, Jesus, fuck, that hurt so bad. And I was like, oh, wait, did he fell? He was like, I think I fucked something up in my shoulder. And
Oh,
really bad.
no.
I think I need to go to the ER.
But was he like dressed like a clown and everything still? Or
No, he was like in a tuxedo. He was like, he looked super classy.
He's just bleeding out of his ear a little bit. He's like, yeah, I will take some of that artichoke dip, but after that, I'm gonna go to urgent care.
I'm gonna go to urgent care.
I guess I'm fucked right now.
I'm gonna get on my 10-foot unicycle and ride it to
all
urgent
those
care.
motherfuckers with stilts, all that shit, I would not fuck around with that. I would absolutely not fuck around with that.
It's kind of scary.
Would you do stilts? I could see you. I could see
would
you doing stilts and then fucking falling.
Yeah, definitely.
I could definitely see that.
That
would be how you died. That would be how you died. Oh, that would suck.
So I did pogo stick when I was a kid.
Those are dangerous too in their own
Those
right.
are fucking dangerous too. I did a pogo stick and the pogo stick I came down and somehow I was on like a rubber gym floor. I don't know how, but it just slid out from underneath me. There must have been liquid on the floor or something. And I just boom right on my chin. Full contact, and I was like, ouch, that hurt. And then everyone was like, what the fuck, Tyler?
And you were just fucking bleeding.
Pissing blood out of my... I didn't bite my tongue or anything. Pissing blood. We go into the nurse's office, they clean it out. A chunk of fat is coming out of the cut.
Oh!
And through all of this, I was like, wow, this is a lot of blood. That's pretty crazy. But I'm like, it's blood, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I see the fat, and I'm like, ooh, gross. I'm like 9, and then they're like... So, you're gonna have to get stitches. And I immediately lose my shit.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing.
Stitches used to be scarier.
Stitches
were like a big deal when you were...
I'm still pretty uncomfortable with them, but like, whatever. You gotta sew it up. It's an open, gaping wound, and then, you get over... You learn that the world is a very dark place and bad things happen all the time, and you adjust.
Absolutely.
But when you're 9, you're like, this is a Disney movie. Everything's gonna be fine. I'll just poke the fat back in and then spit on my hand and go like this. No, they have to sew your fucking skin back together. So it just was funny to me that I'm like pissing blood. I can see the fat inside of my chin, and I'm fine the whole time. But then they say, "Oh, you're gonna have to get stitches,"
and then you start to fucking.
And then I just lose. I was just sobbing
180.
Violently. Yeah, it was.
It's funny how that works.
It is. It's
Kids
all
are
in
actually
your head.
kind of stupid.
They're stupid,
Yeah,
but they're
very
extremely
impressionable.
resilient.
Yeah,
but they're stupid too.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy the amount of like, I mean, I don't know. I think about it just vehicles all the time. Like last night, I got stuck in a really, really, really bad accident that just, I mean, it took what was supposed to be a 3-minute drive into like literally an hour and 10-minute drive because they had to shut everything off. And I just thought about how pogo sticks as children, driving as adults. I mean, all these things, like we're literally just paper thin close to death at all times.
Yeah.
Flying in the air, it's kind of remarkable.
I like highways. I like highways a lot because highways there's no oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
Highways, I'm like, I've got some pretty. You're going fast. Yeah. You're going fast, but you're all going the same direction.
Driving is just so wild though because sometimes you get so close to a median, but you don't just hit it and then do 6 rolls.
Yeah.
But if you were like 7 inches closer, you would hit it and do 6 rolls.
It's funny
but instead you go back to fucking looking at Reddit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I just drove that 30-foot trailer from here to Ocean
I saw
Shores.
your big extended fucking mirror, and I was like, oh, that's nice to have.
Oh my god! It's the only way I can see behind. It's the only way I can see
Yeah.
behind. Like a car could be 30 feet behind my camper, and without those mirrors, I can't see.
Yeah,
I literally don't know if anyone's
It's just so
behind
funny
me.
because we've reduced like horrific instances of vehicular collision and bodily evisceration. We've reduced that down to fucking traffic at the Tacoma Bend. I'm gonna be 45 minutes late. It's like somebody literally just got their collarbone into like their fucking eye sockets.
That's really funny.
And we're just like, oh, I'm sorry, Susan. I'm fucking taking a picture.
Taking a picture.
Look at this
his
shit.
collarbone is literally coming out of his eye.
He's like bleeding out. He's like still alive, bleeding out, but he can't.
And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry you have to go through that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Not witnessing the guy die, but sitting through the traffic.
Yeah.
And then she says, at least you got a good picture.
At least you got a good picture.
Did you post that yet?
You didn't post it? Oh.
Did you post that? It's like a video with
Submit
you show that, and then you
DM to Seattle Sounds, or what's the Instagram shit that's always like, awesome, DM on Northwest Picks.
Yeah.
I hate everything.
Yeah.
I hate trying to post things and hoping. I really hate the post and hope. It fucking sucks. It's so
we gotta
fucking
hire
stupid.
it out. We gotta hire it out.
It's so fucking stupid, bro.
And that's where it's like people are like, oh yeah, skill and talent does it, and it's like, okay, listen, you should have some skill and talent, But if you don't have some skill and talent, you can buy someone's soul to train you to have some skill and talent.
It's all about...
And then you can buy someone's soul to market and advertise all of your content. And then you can buy someone's soul to literally give you a blowjob twice a day. And then you can buy someone's soul to drive you to and from places.
So folks, you need to procure money.
You need to
you need
to hustle.
Money is probably the best bet at this point for most of the folks watching. So,
yeah, I really want to play Midnight Be the fucking Set
is that
right
your
now.
Ivy Lab thing?
That's my hype song right now.
Okay, yeah.
I can't say the second line because I'm white.
Break a
drop. Yeah, we shouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
You because this guy part of the fucking goon squad over here.
Goon squad. He's 10% African.
All
so
right.
He's almost immune. He's 10% African and 40% or 50%.
We just
Hispanic.
I think the African is part of the Hispanic.
But you're over 50. Right?
Non-white?
Yeah, you're
I am over 50% non-white.
He's a person of color.
I'm a person of color, so I can't actually afford myself something. When I was young, I literally drew my family because my mom's white. She married a white guy. They had a
very white guy.
A very white, like
Leighton
fucking
is like
freckles.
British royalty. British royalty.
I don't know about royalty. Then they had a kid, Ashton, my brother. Great guy. Love him.
Love him. Mwah. We love you, Ashy.
We love you, Ashy. But I used to draw myself as brown and my
really?
And everybody else is yellow. Yeah.
Oh.
When I was younger. Yeah.
That's interesting. Then we beat it out of you.
Then I was like,
we beat your POC identification.
Exactly, which was huge.
Not me,
it was the '90s, so it was kind of like you need to pick the side that's doing all the.
Yeah.
Doing
all the.
Because you don't want to be in the.
See, the Goon Squad in 23, you're like, whoa.
Like, what do you mean?
The Goon Squad in 90, you're like, business as usual.
Right,
this
right,
is
right.
just,
Yeah, absolutely.
We're still burning down, like, segregated communities in the 90s. But
I've heard a lot of things about this Mississippi riot, and we didn't cover it.
We didn't cover it at all?
We didn't cover it at all, and I'm kind of like, I go back and forth, It's like, I see the chair becoming a popular thing. The chair, the guy, there was like a black guy that was like hitting people with a chair, and then like he became.
We're talking about the boat riot.
The boat riot. He became like the new kind of like meme online, like the chair.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, that black guy was getting jumped by white people, and that was fucking unacceptable. And then the black people came and like they were trying to get equilibrium, and then the whole thing just came into this. It's like. Yeah, it just sucks that happened. It just sucks that we're in a society where people are like still choosing sides over something that's so absolutely inappropriate. Like
there were no knives, right? There were no knives.
But I even heard that like there were no guns. Like then there were no guns. I'm just like we're literally having a jungle style animal brawl in what's supposed to be a unified country.
See, for me,
and
I'm
people
like,
are
no
like,
knives, no guns, go wild.
I'm not because I'm just like I wish none of it ever happened. I wish that we could just like literally be like removed from that style of fucking interaction to the point where it's like a news story that everybody gets like excited about and it becomes like the butt of jokes. Like to me, that's like so demoralizing a country. I'm just like, okay, well that's that. Even after everything, even after like we've had all these conversations, we've had all these movements, it's like we're still just as racially divided as ever. So, and in fact, it's the hunger where chair, or what the fuck, all these fucking
So like, I think there are times where there's no racial charge and then it gets applied. But I think in this instance there was some racial charge, and that's probably what kind of acted as like a uniting front for.
I feel like it was definitely a racial charge, yeah.
Because I at least this is what I heard.
But seeing
the white people were like dropping N-bombs like right and left and like getting super racist on the guy and then attacked him.
Yeah.
So they got super racist on him, attacked him.
The guy that was black worked as like a captain of the boat. Yeah. He was like trying to he was like 1,000% not in the wrong at all.
All I'm saying is that it wasn't like just like this balanced neutral thing where 25 black people were like, we're gonna form a white squad and punish the whites. Like they heard a group of people calling a black dude the N-word a bunch, and then they started beating his ass. I mean, it's just like, it's a pretty easy rallying cry for something like that to happen. So it's not. I'm just saying it's not like neutral space roving band of blacks attacks white boat,
Yeah.
I'm also not saying that it's chill. There is definitely a point where you're like, they got what was coming to them.
Yeah.
They got what was coming to them. We're going a little heavy now.
I feel like well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they definitely got what there was coming to them. But it's not. It's like I'm trying to think of like a good example.
We did it. We oopsied it. We oopsied it.
We really oopsied.
We oopsied hard. It's the Goon Squad. The Goon Squad fucked us over today.
Oh, with just what we can and can't talk about because this lives forever with the okay.
Yeah.
It's just it shouldn't be. I get it. I don't condone the good folks down there in the Mississippi Riverboat doing the good Blackfoots down there. You know, coming to the aid of a white man or a black man that's literally getting pummeled by a white group. I just think the whole thing should have been more sad. Like there was a WWE tone to it.
Oh,
like that's what I'm trying to say.
Saying.
Yeah,
sure, yeah.
Like, yeah.
No, there was a WWE.
You're not even listening to what I'm saying. You're just
response.
like, oh, Jeff is trying to justify this in some way.
No.
But I'm like the entire tone of it was like.
So it's almost more the response of the news.
That's what I'm saying. The response of the news, the response of the memes, the response of society. I'm just like, you guys, this was like a really bad thing. Like this isn't like, yeah, fucking get him on either side. It's like this is like really, really bad. We're not going to be a country in like 27 years.
Yeah.
Like just so you guys know, we're not going to be a country in 27 years.
We might be two countries.
We might be like two countries, or like weird bad things are going to happen. And this is like just proving that like no matter what we do,
Mississippi,
this is the thing that's
Squad.
going to like fucking to kill us. Yeah. No matter what we do, it's
should
like
we just cut
insane.
out Mississippi? Should we just be
maybe
like,
Mississippi?
Maybe
what is Mississippi?
Can we drop it in like the Gulf? Can we drop it in the Gulf of Mexico?
Right. Mississippi, I think, is one of the.
We'll still trade with you, but
let's see. I'd like to see Mississippi age of consent. Okay, 16. That's pretty. Not. I won't say pretty good, but that's pretty standard.
Yeah.
16 is pretty standard across the board.
Age of consent.
I just thought that it was going to be like 14 in Mississippi consent, or something.
Yeah.
I literally was like,
you're just looking for.
Yeah. Fuck you, Mississippi. Wow, the lowest age of consent is 11 in Nigeria. God damn. Beautiful country. Philippines and Angola, 12. What the fuck? The age of consent?
And the interesting thing is the Philippines is like very much like an Americanized.
The Philippines are Western as fuck.
Yeah, they're Western as fuck.
What? Like,
I've got to think that there is a huge child.
God damn.
Sex trafficking culture there, or maybe. Well, I mean, at that point, it's not even trafficking. There's literally just
the
kids
lowest
in the Philippines.
age of consent is 9 years old for the Maldives. The Maldives are like literal fucking like isolated islands in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Like if you're fucking a 9-year-old in the Maldives, I don't think they're consent. They're not consent. I don't think it really is. It's a moot point.
Jesus Christ.
Good fuck. Like this is why I'm like hardened. I'm just like, oh yeah, people are fucking 9-year-olds, like commonplace. Like it's literally a dark world. And I've just like accepted that I'm literally, and this is probably like a trauma response or something, but like I would like to get one that gets me. Because you've probably got like 4 or 5 times.
I've gotten like 5.
There's nothing on here that fucks me up.
I'll go back to this. When one person chooses to do something, like you take statistics, you take socialization, you take like social norms. Yeah. When you pick,
you're an outlier. But when you get a big group,
when you get a group of people that does something really, really heinous, that's super concerning to me. Because what it means is we're failing to socialize our society to an effective level, so that we aren't doing literally fucking. I don't believe in good and evil, but we aren't doing horrific things that harm people to a degree that they are going to have no choice but to go on and harm many other people. You've got people. We're fighting a war right now, folks. We're fighting a war of intergenerational trauma, and when people get traumatized enough, they don't just transfer that trauma to one person. Like, right, when you have somebody that's sexually assaulted as a child and then they go out and sexually assault 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
it really is
8,
a virus.
9. You know, it's, and so like,
because people that get sexually assaulted often sexual assault.
Yeah, and that's not. I mean, listen, if you've been sexually assaulted, that's not it. But what I'm not saying is if you get sexually assaulted, you're going to sexually assault someone. What I am saying is that if you've sexually assaulted someone, it's very likely that you were sexually assaulted.
Yes, absolutely, and the likelihood that you will goes up, like, I'm sure, exponentially.
Wait, Smash me?
We can't. You need to have a better segue. You need to have a better segue.
You guys, Smash Mouth's frontman died.
You need to have a better segue.
Sorry, that hurts.
From talking about serious sexual assault allegations.
I think it's funny. I think it's kind of funny. Well, shit, and we're on the 9-year-olds.
And the 9-year-olds, yeah.
What's your
bit? Okay.
So Jeff's got a bit.
All right, I've got a new bit. You know, I'm trying to get back into the stand-up.
We really care about doing good things in the world. We just talk about bad things.
We talk about bad things, but we actually are pretty good people. I mean, I don't know if we're good people, but I think we have a good ethical barometer. Like, I think that we actually, like, in our core, like, operate with most integrity.
I think so.
Like, yeah.
I think so.
But we, you know...
Why are we not good people?
I mean, everybody is a little bit bad.
Everybody's a little bit bad.
There's like literally nobody who's truly like altruistic. Like even if you're altruistic and you're like good, it's like you're like, oh, this is who I am. I feel good.
Well, you get mental rewards
self-image.
You get mental rewards for doing that stuff.
Yeah. Do we get some comments from the folks here?
We do. I want to just say to RGHF, hola!
Hola!
And to Dylan, what's up, boy?
What's up, boy? What's up, boy? So yeah, that's right, folks. You heard it here, not first, but early. Smash Mouth frontman Steve Harwell dies at 56. The musician performed with the California band from 1994 until his retirement in 2021. I've got a couple things about this, honestly.
Okay.
Steve Harwell. We're just gonna go ahead and.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Ode to Steve Harwell. Steve Harwell. That's a great name, Steve Harwell.
Couple things. This is one of the things that I was literally thinking about this morning because it's like, think about 1999, right? Like you're 8 years old, you're 7 years old, you're 10 years old, folks. Wherever you were, it's like when we heard Smash Mouth All Star, we all kind of remember what time in our life it was. It's like a different 9/11. You know what I mean? So
sure.
With the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, I mean, it's like that was like a different national anthem for like 3 years.
Yeah.
That was like such a big deal. At least
it united. I think it united generational gaps too. Like
it did.
Like we loved it. Our parents loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know if my grandparents loved it.
Yeah,
my
probably
grandparents
not.
were probably like, society's fucked.
Well, and it's funny because this guy had like a tiny little like pencil mustache, and he just was like everything that we would consider to be like a douchebag. Like 20 years later, he was
a douchebag.
But it's like, and they were making this kind of like, you know, cheesy, shitty music. But it's just so funny because like now he's a joke, right? 20 years ago,
he was a hero.
Like A-class, like fucking the biggest movie of the turn. Shrek, like that was a huge motion picture. Yeah. Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, like this is the band that was accompanying that. Like do you know what I'm getting here? It's just so crazy how time works. Like not only is he not like respected, he's a joke, even though at one point he was the coolest motherfucker.
Yeah.
And coolness and age and ability, all these things just like fizzle out. Like you really do just have this like this climax, this peak. Like there is this moment that you never ever get back again. And in fact, you fade into like muck.
When we try and measure things out, when we take statistics, when we look at a system and we try and understand it, we measure it dynamically. We measure it statically. Right? So we go into a system and we go, this is...
Smash Mouth, yes.
Smash Mouth.
The days
it's great.
Keep coming and they don't stop coming.
And they don't stop. No, but we have, like, pretty short lifespans, and we only live in one moment at a time. Like, we can't spread our consciousness out over 10 years. So, like, we only really perceive reality in singular moments. And so trying to, like, to extrapolate out and think about time over 10 years, over 20 years, it's really fucking difficult because we literally only live one moment at a time.
Yeah.
There's a reason that we love seeing, like, I don't know if you guys love seeing, like, the overtime graphs, like, of things on Reddit or on Facebook, or, like, that helps us to, like, encapsulate that and, like, internalize that, but we naturally want to look at things statically, and so, like, perceiving, like, grand cultural dynamic shifts over time, I think it's just really, really hard for the human mind because it's literally stuck in one moment.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. That's like kind of one of the most beneficial skills you can have is observing things over a 20-year time frame. I mean, that's how people that get extreme exorbitant wealth. They have wealth to leverage, and they see a 20-year unfolding of a plan. And being able to really zoom out is.
And I think history is a huge fucking part of that. Like, if you can observe history, you're observing the reverse, and that gives you more context for thinking forward and trying to understand what's going to happen over the next year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 100 years. Yeah. Like, it's kind of the only way that you can build context for that is by understanding our history.
Yeah, because it doesn't. I heard it doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes.
Oh, that's dope as fuck.
Right?
That's dope.
And I just want to show you guys. So about 2 years ago, Steve Harwell he had to retire because he had some health issues after a chaotic show, and he actually was being pretty wild. He was being pretty wild. So it's a minute-long video, but we'll show you good folks here.
You good folks.
Okay, I know the ethics of this aren't great, but I did just see Smash Mouth perform live at a local beer and wine festival. When I say this is the most chaotic show I've ever seen in my entire life, I have no words.
At no point was the sound balanced. Unintelligible speech.
Is there just feedback the entire time?
Yeah, it's fucked.
He's flipping everyone off. He is not doing
He's not.
Oh my god. He's just not singing.
Yeah, he's just like a zombie.
Whoa!
He's like zombie standing.
Did you see that? He just said, "I'll fucking kill your whole family."
Yeah,
I swear to God.
I've seen this a couple times.
Oh.
It's so Steve Harwell kind of did need to, and the fucked up thing that I don't know is like,
so yeah, you're like, oh my god, everything fails, everyone becomes a joke. Steve Harwell on stage just threatened to kill somebody's whole fucking family.
Well,
so
dude,
he did become a joke, not because of time, but because he got hooked on fucking PCP or something.
Well, he died of liver failure at 56. I'm assuming he was
a lot
an
of
alcohol.
drinking.
Yeah, alcoholic. But I mean that. It's like, what do we do? Like things catch up. It's not about it's all an accumulation.
I mean, when you look at people that go hard though, they rotate, they cycle, they rotate, they cycle. Like you look at guys that carry it through the whole way, and they don't just do one thing the whole time. They do one thing for 7 years, then they maybe continue that thing, and they do another side thing, and you start putting your fingers in a lot of different pies because time is changing, and you know that you built this thing for this era, and it might not work. So you can either change the thing that you're doing, or you can do other things.
What are you talking about specifically?
I'm talking about like Tequila Man. I can't remember what he started a really famous hair cutting company, and he started. I can't remember what his name is though. He started a tequila company too. I can't. That's all I got for you, good folks at home.
I don't know what.
Well, what I'm saying is, so he was destitute. I'm
trying to understand.
He was destitute. He started basically like a barber shop, and then he was like, wait, the money's not in the haircuts, the money's in the shampoo. So he started a shampoo.
Vidal Sassoon or something.
Maybe. I literally.
Gene Juarez.
So he did that. He did that for like 15 years. It popped off. He did really, really well. Then he started a tequila company. Then he started a education company. Then he started a look up
Jean-Paul DeJoria.
Yes, Jean-Paul DeJoria.
John.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's fucking cool, dude. I love this guy.
Oh,
you guys
John
should check
Paul
out
Mitchell. Wow. God damn.
Powerful face.
Holy fuck.
Could you stand in front of that man and have him tell you to fucking cut your own throat and not do it?
Oh,
I would do it. God. I would cut my own throat from John
That's
Paul.
the guy I'm buying fucking moose from?
That's the guy you're buying fucking moose from. And moose meat. He eventually got into moose meat too. He started hunting. That was just his one-man operation that was very expensive.
Okay, but what... How does this tie in?
This all ties into this guy just kept firing. He just kept firing. He started working on different things, and he advanced into different areas. And I think that's how you keep relevant, because this guy's relevant as fuck right now. He's running a nonprofit that invests tons of money into schools and helps young people learn about business and start businesses, and it helps young entrepreneurs become better business owners.
Sure.
And so you just don't keep singing the same 8 songs for 25 years and then get addicted to PCP and tell people to they're gonna kill their whole fucking family. And I feel like, sure, the odds there's odds that you do 4 things and they all fuck up, but it's not like you're just doomed to fucking fizzle.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really talking about like the business opportunities or like what he did or didn't like build or create. I'm just talking about like the sustained, consistent like substance use that ramps up, that alters your physiology to the point where you're no longer yourself. You're all these damaged components that used to be you.
So we're not talking about just aging here.
No, I'm talking about how he is able to look so good at 56.
I mean, he doesn't look. He doesn't look.
Oh no, sorry, that's 2013.
Oh, okay.
No, I just mean like when I see Steve Harwell saying I'm gonna fucking kill you, like and like nodding out, I'm not like he's a bad guy per se. I'm like, oh,
he got wore out.
I'm like you're literally like a guy that has a bunch of money, but if you didn't do all this stuff 20 years ago, you would be on the streets of Seattle washing your ass with a fountain.
Yeah.
Like you have a bunch of money and a bunch of caretakers, but to me, you are completely gone pretty much. And then that was not 18 months ago or 2 years ago or whatever. And now he's...
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like, I don't see that as a bad thing. I see that as a really sad thing. I'm like, that's so fucking
I guess
tragic.
maybe we're debating 2 separate things. I think we're debating.
You're talking about business. You're a businessman. You can't stop talking about
everything's
business.
a business though. This is what we're doing as a business. It's just a mostly fun business.
Well, no, I get it, but like if you want to stay in business, it's like musicians that fry their ears find themselves with short careers. Musicians that can't get a hold of their
this guy with the phrases today. He's really on one with the phrases.
Thanks
I
so
like
much.
it. I like it. I like it.
Okay, well, listen, I will. I'll leave on a couple things.
We're at 106. Wow.
So, Fushu Meng, the debut album from Smash Mouth. My parents had that album, and I found it when I was like 12 or 13, and I listened to it 500 times.
Yeah.
I actually love Smash Mouth. As like a nostalgic band. Fushu Meng, before they fucking...
Popped off?
Before they popped off. Before any of the
first.
shit. I found him first.
He found him first.
Through my parents...
Well, his parents found him first.
Well, I had already heard All Star, and then I was like, oh, let me listen to their old shit. And I was like, oh my god. Yeah. This is like... it was so good. This was already when Smash was like kind of becoming a joke.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you guys, people were like listening to like Good Charlotte and stuff. Like we were aging out. And I was like, no, you guys,
Life and Death and everything in between.
Early Smash Mouth was actually pretty good, and everyone's like, you're fucking gay. I can say that, it's 2002.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I loved Nickelback when it was becoming a joke.
Nickelback was my first band that I ever saw.
Yeah,
it was a big deal to me. Big
I
deal.
never stopped liking Nickelback.
No, I liked Nickelback, then it became a joke, and I was like, just so you know, Nickelback's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Okay. I was never like, Nickelback!
It just became a flag for people to have something to talk about other than the weather.
Yeah.
That's literally what it was.
It was like kind of in the origin of memes territory.
It was kind of. It was the beginning
that was such a weird
It was like
time.
we were creating fire.
Yeah.
Of memes.
Literally. I mean, I remember before the memes. I remember when I was 8 years old and everyone was just a fucking person.
Yeah.
And there were local communities, and then all that died.
All that became like bites.
Yeah.
Some people were memes because they were just sound movie quotes. They were movie quotes, movie sound bites.
Sure.
And that was kind of a type of memery.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like social memery. It was like art memery.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't like a social commentary to have as much as.
There's probably political memes.
There was some memes, you know, like the hanging Chad was a meme. You know, news memes. Yeah,
then you go back to the Red Scare. You know, you go back to all this.
There are some memes, but
there's memes, but it's not as many.
Political cartoons.
Those
are kind of like memes.
I'm just imagining, like, okay, you've got a village of 200 people. Like, did they have memes like 3,000 years ago?
Yeah,
they probably did.
They had to have something.
Like, I think
that's what the hieroglyphics were.
Are we
they were
fucked
memes
right now? We're not fucked.
Okay,
we're close to it.
Well, I want to just say my Smash Mouth joke.
You have 10 seconds.
Really?
You have 30
Okay,
seconds.
so this is Smash Mouth. R.I.P. Steve Harwell. This is Smash Mouth if they only sang about pedophilia. I can't get enough of your baby.
Okay.
Might as well be fucking on your son. Beep, boop. Might as well be fucking on your son. Beep, boop. And then the last one, which is the weakest. Hey there, where'd your mom go? I've got an Xbox. Come play. All that it is eyes ain't gold.
I think it's great. We're gonna make some songs, folks. Thank you so much for joining.